Welcome to Call to Purpose. I'm Tony Riley, and today we continue in our season talking about inspiring women in business. With us today, we have our guest, Malena Southworth. She is the founder and owner of Southworth Design Co. Malena, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. This is exciting.
Yeah, so this is really cool. So you have a business where you design websites and you do branding, right?
Yes.
Amongst many other talents.
Kind of you to say. Yes,
And
branding and websites are my bread and butter.
I love it. And I just want to tell a story real quick before I start asking you some questions about, about your business and background. So you're actually mentioned in my book because you were a big part in designing my website for my business and actually helping me create a name for my practice.
Yes.
And if it weren't for you and the way we got there, like I had no idea how I was going to get my business name.
And that was a
And
total God thing.
It was a total God thing. But it was like he brought you into my life and it's like such perfect timing and it was just crazy. I can't even describe how crazy
Perfect.
it was.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing, perfect like orchestration, and just that you were already like doing things in the background that you didn't even know you were doing that helped come up with my business name.
Yes. So that was really cool for me to hear your side of that. So part of the process of my branding is I ask clients to create a Pinterest inspiration board so that I can see their style and see their vision rather than just reading it on paper. It's not the same.
Yes.
And I will typically pull from that. I'll pull from that board to create a mood board that's the foundation for the branding. And I remember I had pulled some beautiful images from your inspiration board, and then I had a few ideas. I'm like, we're going to interject a few other things. And one of them was this beautiful little illustrated olive leaf. And it was so sweet. And it fit so perfectly. And I remember you emailing me and saying, oh my gosh, I've been toying with the idea of, because we didn't have a name at the time. I'm like, we're going to have a name to make a brand eventually. But you'd said, I've been toying with the idea of Olive Grove. And I'm like, well, that's kind of perfect. Let's dig into that a little bit more. And it became this beautiful brand that represents you so well. And it makes me so happy every time I see it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And it's so funny because I told you like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. And you're like, well, it is stuff that you chose.
It's your vision.
So all that to say, that's what you do. Like you help people find what they love and make it beautiful.
Well, typically what people love is beautiful. It's cluttered and they don't, there's a lot that distracts. And so part of my job is to see through the distraction and bring out what I call people's signature style.
Yeah.
So helping you discover your signature style because it's there. Everyone has one. They just don't always know it.
No, yeah. Well, what a beautiful gift you have to be able to do that for people and to help them come up with what was created for them. So
thank you so much.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it's supposed to feel like an extension of you, especially solo entrepreneurs. When you are your business, it is a part of you. So the branding needs to feel like an extension of you. And that, I tell all my clients, like, if you don't love it, then it's not right. So I can love it, but you have to live with this and it's your baby. Right. So you've got to love your baby.
Right. Exactly. You do. And I love that. That makes total sense. Yeah, you do have to love it because it's going to be your name. So
exactly.
Yeah. So I wanted you to tell me about your company, how you started, what led you into this field and your business.
It's funny how I was actually just talking to my mom on the phone on the way here. You have all these ideas when you're a kid, you know what you're going to be. And then, life happens and you go on this crazy, usually non-linear path to your destination. And that was certainly the case with me. I had no intentions of becoming an art major and doing graphic design. I initially planned on being an engineer.
Wow.
My dad's an engineer, and I was like, oh, I could do that.
I did not know that.
Yes.
That's cool.
So I first went to school for engineering. I was the only girl in the class. The instructor the first day asked me if I was in the right place
Oh my gosh.
because just such a male dominated
Oh yeah.
space.
Yeah, it is.
And especially, 25 years ago. So I'm like, no, I think I'm in the right place. I was not in the right place. That was not my gifting. And I learned that pretty quickly. But it's interesting. It's a different, I'm still doing everything on computers. It's still creation. It's just more artistic than it is, mechanical. So
Yes.
it's a good
Yes.
thing. But I changed my major 4 times. Took me 7 years to graduate from college.
Wow.
That's our running joke in my house is I went to college for 7 years. I am not a doctor. But part of that too was I married fairly young before I finished college, and my husband he joined the Marine Corps right after 9/11, like the day after 9/11,
Wow.
and so that
That had to be scary.
that was crazy. That changed the trajectory of our lives
Yeah.
completely, and especially together. We were still dating at the time. We were married about a year after that. But with moving around with the military, it's hard to finish college.
Yeah. I
So it
bet.
took me
Mhm.
a while, but
Mhm.
I figured out I loved um, I loved art and I love design and seeing how art can actually be useful and helpful and something that everybody actually does need
Mhm.
rather than something that's pretty to put on the wall. And I love pretty art to put on the wall, but it was really exciting for me to see how it can be functional and useful and helpful in people's businesses.
Wow.
So finally graduated with my degree and immediately got pregnant with my first. So I'm
That
like,
was good
well,
timing. You got it
yes,
done.
finished school.
Yeah.
I was interning at an advertising agency in San Diego at the time, which was a great experience.
Cool.
But I was falling asleep halfway through the day with the pregnancy.
Oh, yes.
So
Uh-huh.
I had such a great experience there, though, and met so many fantastic people, and just learned how to work with clients. And I figured like I can do this like on a small scale on my own with kids.
Yeah.
So I started designing, out of my house, pretty much from the time my oldest was born, and he's 16 now.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it was, it's gone through a couple of different names, but eventually landed on Southworth Design Co, which made the most sense. It was fantastic when we moved to Japan, where my daughter was born. I was able to continue working there.
Wow.
And it was, it wasn't a full time necessarily, but it was still something that was feeding my soul and allowing me to help others and still stay home with all my babies.
Oh,
So I've always worked for myself,
I love that.
which has been such a gift.
Oh, yeah. That's a blessing for sure.
Huge,
Yeah.
huge blessing.
Because it gives you the flexibility.
Absolutely.
Yeah. to
So
be
once
able to-
once all my kids went to school, I said, okay, I can take this a little more seriously now, and not just do this kind of on the side, but let's make this a full-fledged business. And
Yeah.
so I've been very blessed with amazing clients.
I love it.
And what's great about amazing clients is they have friends who are also amazing clients.
Oh,
So
I love it.
it's just been this beautiful, extension of these incredible people that I've met.
Oh,
So I've absolutely loved it.
I love it. I love it. Well, what an incredible journey that you've been on, and just to be able to like how God led you, and like, okay, well, you learned, you got your experience, and it was like, okay, I've given you enough experience. Now you can go and do this on your own, and
Absolutely.
He gave you all those tools to do that, and you had the learning experience to know how to do it.
Yes. God has been very, very good.
Oh, that's just, I love those stories.
Yeah.
Yay, I love it.
Yeah. And I mean, even how I met you, how I met Amy, like all
I
of it.
know.
I see
Yeah.
God's hand in all of it.
Oh, I know.
And it's incredible. And actually, that year that I met you, I prayed so hard for good clients because I had some
Oh.
nightmare clients. I
Mm.
said, okay, God, please send me just some good people.
Yes. I actually remember you talking about that one of the first times we spoke on the phone before we met in person, and you were like, you had said something
Yes.
about that.
So you were an answered prayer.
Oh, you make me cry.
It's true, though. And that was, I really feel like, because that was during COVID.
COVID.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's right.
Yeah, and I actually wrote about that too, about how we met and how you out of the blue, sort of out of the blue,
Yes.
that was like the first time you had decided,
The only time.
the only time,
The only time ever. I have
first and only.
yes, a business coach friend of mine who said you should have an online workshop, and people are scared right now.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do. They don't know what's going to happen with their
Yeah.
business. Like, try to give them some encouragement and show them, well, this is what we can do.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on, but here's what you can do. You can show up.
Yeah.
You can show up and serve the best that you can in the capacity that you can at
Yep.
this time.
Yes.
And so I told her, I'm like, I don't want to do this. This sounds terrible. She said, just do it.
Just
Even
do
if
it.
it's,
Yeah.
even if no one shows up, just
Yeah,
do it.
just do it.
And
Yeah.
and get get that message out there to
Yeah.
even if one person watches it after the replay or whatever.
Right.
And I remember good friend Emily,
Yeah.
also a client,
Which is crazy because she was like, oh, my friend Melena's having this call about helping people during COVID, and if you have a small business. She had no idea I was wanting to rebrand and change the name of my business or anything.
that's amazing.
And I had no idea that's what you did until we got on the phone, until we got on the call.
Talk about a God thing. That's amazing.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And I've never
Who
done one
knew?
of those since. I've never done an online workshop since.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun. So it's like almost like you did that just to get.
Absolutely. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. He's so good. It's like, who knew? God did.
God did.
God
God
knew.
did. It's like, you're going to do this one. You don't have to do it again.
Yeah.
You just have to find Tony.
Just, oh, I love that. And I love how he just used that to get other people into our little network. And
Yes. Just the ripple effects have been really beautiful.
yeah, it has. And then you got to do my book cover, which is absolutely like not to brag on my own thing, but it is yours because the design is just, people compliment me constantly. I know I've probably said that to you before, but people constantly say, oh my gosh, that cover is so beautiful.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
I love it.
It's you. It's
It
you
makes
in
me happy.
book cover form.
Oh, thank you.
I love it. It makes me very happy. This is definitely one of very high on my list of proud accomplishments.
Oh, I love it. Well, you'll have to do more. I have people that that are writing books right now. So
I have people.
I have people. So I'll send them your way.
Please do. I would love to, because this is so fun to see this. And I've gone into stores where I see your book and I'm like,
Oh, I love
very
that.
exciting.
I love that. That's so cool. Yeah. Oh, yay. I love it. Okay, so I have some other questions here for you. And you may have already answered this, maybe not, but what is your biggest passion when it comes to your clients?
oh, so that's a great question. I have found that, I guess, not even intentionally, through the process of like the brand questionnaire that asks a lot of deep questions, through the process of the Pinterest inspiration board, I end up knowing my clients, I think, more than most people do in a business transactional situation. You are a testament to this. I become friends with most of my clients.
I love that.
So I start to collect clients as friends. And so,
I love
it's it becomes this beautiful network of like, I know them so well that I'm like, you're amazing.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of your life
be
now.
friends with you.
So sorry
It's
if,
fantastic.
that might be like a warning to others. If you're thinking of working with me, we might be friends forever.
If you want to be friends with Malena, just work with her.
We'll be BFFs after that. I'll know everything about you and I'll still love you. Probably more so for it.
Oh my gosh,
But,
that's awesome.
so yeah, I mean, clearly,
I love it.
Emily, you, Amy, like I'm just keeping everyone close.
And Wendy
yeah.
too.
And Wendy, yeah.
Yeah, she came in through that too.
Wendy, Jennifer, yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many.
Yeah.
Like I learned to love the people that I work with. And I care about, I want to make your business successful for you and your family, because that just brings me so much joy to see.
Well, that shows.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you can tell that you're just, want to do that for people. And I love that. That's what makes you so good at it.
Well, because I love you. So.
Well, I love you too.
I know like I said, I get to know you so well.
I love that. That's awesome. And I love by doing this, I'm learning more about you that I didn't know.
Yes.
It's pretty cool.
That is so fun.
Well, that's a really good answer. I like that one a lot. That's cool.
I guess one other thing I could say, because that's branding.
Yeah.
Websites. I have so many clients that come to me and say, I have a website, but don't look at it. It's so embarrassing. Like that. breaks my heart. It's like, okay, I will help you through this. You will never
Oh,
say that again.
that's got to be so rewarding though for you to be able to be like, okay, well, here it is now. What do you think? It's like,
Absolutely.
oh my
Absolutely.
gosh. Yeah.
That
What
is
a huge transformation that like the worse it is in the beginning,
the
the
better.
more glory comes out of it.
Yes, definitely. But also from that, there's so much confidence that the client builds saying, because they are confident then going out and saying, oh, yeah, go to my website. And so it's just this trickle
Yeah.
down effect of you have something beautiful and it relates in the end to something that's profitable for your family and for your business and
Yeah.
rewarding in so many different ways.
Wow.
So it's not
I
just
love
pretty
that.
pictures.
I love that. And what a great analogy too. That just made me think about um, the more messed up it is,
Yeah,
the more glory comes out
absolutely.
from God.
Yeah, he redeems it all.
Oh, love it. I love it. Yeah, and my website it wasn't me.
Yeah,
Like it was okay,
it
but
wasn't you.
it was not
There was
me.
no
It was
heart.
too corporate. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. But then as soon as I wanted it to be more about God and when people went to the site, they would know if they were Christian, they would know I was Christian. That's what I
Right,
wanted.
right.
That because it's his
Yes,
business. He gave me the tools and the wisdom and all that. So
absolutely.
yeah.
And there's Bible verses in your code. So it's threaded,
That's
literally threaded through like the meta of your website,
oh my gosh,
which I love.
I love that. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That's the best.
That part makes me so happy.
Yeah, that is really, really incredible. Like he's there even when we don't know he's there.
Yeah, even in the invisible.
Yes, exactly. Amen. Boy, we're really having a lot of analogies in here today. I love it. um, okay, so what is the biggest reward for you, and then what is the biggest challenge for you?
Oh, the biggest reward is definitely that final reveal. Um, that
I totally get it.
the gasp, or just the reaction from taking it from an idea to something real
Yes.
and something that is functional and something that is that's going to help people further their businesses. But again, like I said, building their own confidence as a business owner too.
Yeah.
That's incredibly rewarding.
Wow.
And then checking in on them months later, like how's it going? It's going great.
Yeah.
It's going great.
It's going
I've told
great.
so many people about my website. People are coming to the website.
I love that.
So
I love that.
that's
And
always super fun.
I'm a testimony for that too. Just like I feel like an HGTV show where they walk in and they're like, and you see them like crying and stuff. That's how we feel when we see your website
Oh, I love
after
it.
the finished product.
I'll be the fixer-upper of websites. I'm happy to do that. Joanna
The
Gaines, your website.
HGTV of websites. Southworth Design Co.
I will take that. I will take that as a badge of honor for sure.
Yeah, oh, I love it. Okay, so biggest challenge. I guess you may have touched on that just slightly, maybe.
Challenge. Let's see. Biggest challenge is communication. Honestly, 90% of my clients. I've been so blessed. 90% of my clients, the communication's amazing. I get incredible feedback. It's more when people are like, I don't like that. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
What do you not like? I don't know. I just don't like that. That's incredibly challenging.
Yeah, when they don't have suggestions on what they're not sure what they want themselves. And so
Exactly.
It's
And
difficult to help somebody when they don't know what they want.
exactly. And that goes back to like it's very internal. And so there's a very interesting amount of like psychology that goes into and sometimes even counseling that goes into the whole branding process. Because some people they don't know what they want. And I'm like, I can't give you what you want if you don't know what that is.
Exactly.
And so that can be
Wow.
very challenging.
I'm sure it can.
But again,
Especially being one you want people to be pleased, obviously.
yes.
So it's hard to do that when they don't know what they want.
Yes. So
Wow.
again, that's few and far between. That rarely happens. I can count maybe 3 in my entire career that's been the case.
Well, that's good.
Yes, I'm very thankful.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
those are the ones that you remember for sure.
I'm sure. It's hard. Unfortunately, it's hard to forget the ones that are
Yes.
difficult.
Yes, but I'm trying to outshine that with all the good.
All the good.
There's
'cause
so much good.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, good. Let's see, what else did I have here? Um, Tell us about a goosebump or faith-filled moment in your life.
Oh my goodness, there's so many.
You can name as many as you
There are
want
so many.
because it just gives all glory to God.
That's
So,
true. There's one I'm gonna have to save until I come back for
okay.
revival because that's a big one. Um, God has just been so faithful in my life. I cannot thank Him or give Him enough glory for all the faithfulness and all the goodness. The one that comes to mind for some reason, I think, because we were talking about 9/11 and my husband, when he decided to leave the Marine Corps, that was a big moment. He left after 15 years of active duty. He had put in an application with American, but it was very much like, you have to give up one before you can really go for the other. So there's a huge leap of faith there, and that had been our life for 15 years. It's very predictable, very stable and secure. And then going to, we don't know, one, if he's going to get this job, or two, if what that's going to look like for our family. And so he said, okay, we prayed about it. And he said, I think I need to do this. I said, okay, let's do it. And so he put in his resignation with the Marine Corps, put in his application with American, and he had what they call terminal leave. So all the vacation that you've saved up in the military, you can take it all at the end. So you have,
time off.
yes, as a sort of transition period. So it was his last day in the squadron, and he's walking. He said, said his goodbyes, big farewell, and he's walking from the squadron to his truck, and he got a phone call from American as he was walking, and they said, "This is, I think it was like one of the VPs or something. Like, this is VP at American Airlines. Would you like to join us?"
Oh my gosh!
And so he came home, and I was, expecting this like very emotional, like, "It's your last day. How'd everything go?" And he walked in the door and he said, "I just got hired on by American Airlines." I said, "Are you serious?"
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
So that was huge.
Wow!
I'm like, wow, God just
Swooped right in.
right. Like we didn't even have time to panic. So he was like, "It's
Wow.
okay, I've got you." So that was
even before you
unbelievable.
had time to
Yeah.
freak out.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
That's
It was definitely
amazing.
like rising.
Yeah, well,
We were feeling it coming, but we're like, it's going to be okay.
yeah,
God's got this.
yeah.
We feel very called to that. This is the
Wow.
time, and the timing could not have been more perfect. And that's happened so many times in our lives. Like,
Oh my goodness.
I can't even tell you all the times it's been so
Wow.
often. And then just the way that He has brought amazing people into my business. And the timing is always, like you said before, when you and I met, it was perfect for you, but it was perfect for me too.
I love that.
It really was. It was a time where we were like, what are we going to do? Because then he wasn't flying.
Right.
There were
Right.
there was a
lot of
span of time where
halt.
he was not. He was. I mean, it's very minimal flying. So I'm like, well, that's going to look different on a month-to-month basis for us.
Yeah, sure.
So that was. It was. His timing's just been so amazing. His provision has been so incredible for us.
So what year was that he ended up getting hired by American?
Oh, I think that was 2015.
Okay. So he had been doing it for a few years before COVID hit, and then.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. So he had a little bit of seniority, so he wasn't too worried about being let go or furloughed at that point. So, not knowing what was coming up with COVID. My goodness.
Yeah.
But it was a wild time.
Wow. That's amazing.
But yeah.
I love how God has a way of just swooping in and saving the day, like
Yes.
Prince Charming.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's so good.
He really is.
This is going to sound ridiculous, but like the other night, my husband was going on a trip, and we've been having like all these well issues and sediment, and he came back. He's like, "How were you able to laundry was a problem? Like I had to keep on hooking the water hose and cleaning out the sand from the filter to the washing machine." And the other night, I was like, "You know what? I'm going to pray about this." So I was like, "Lord, sanctify my washing machine. This sounds ridiculous right now, but you can do anything." So, yes, I did. Like, if this is some sort of attack from the enemy, I'm going to rebuke that in the name of Jesus, and just, you can do anything. Sanctify my washing machine and the water lines and the well. I don't know what's going on. You do. My husband came home. He was like, "Is everything okay?" I'm like, "I prayed over it. It's fine.
It's fine.
Everything's good now."
I love it. I love that.
So we've been doing laundry just fine. So
fantastic. And that's God says everything.
The little and the big. He's
Yep.
there in all of it.
Yeah, like some people are like, oh, I don't know how to pray about that because he doesn't care about the little things. I'm like, no, yes, he does.
Yes,
It
he
says in
does.
all circumstances, not some, all,
Absolutely.
every little thing. He knows every hair in your head, and he wants to know every little thing.
Absolutely.
He wants to hear about every little thing.
He cares when you can't do laundry.
Yes.
So,
yes.
for 3 kids in sports.
Oh, that's awesome. Any other goosebump moments that you feel that the audience would like to hear about? Give them some inspiration.
Let's see. It's so, like, literally, it's hard because there are so many. I think definitely meeting you guys, meeting you and Amy. Amy actually put me in touch with another amazing client, Adam Davis. And that whole experience with him was just goosebumps the entire time.
Wow. Yeah, he's amazing.
I think that was one of the first times that I really realized that what I do is not my power. That's not my gift. That is 100% from the Lord. And so I think that was the first time, I'm going to cry, that I kind of submitted to that and just asked him, I said, okay, this is you. This is not my gift. This is your gift. I'm borrowing this,
Yeah, he's going to work through you to do this.
Use my hands. Make this what you want it to be, because Adam, he's amazing.
He is.
Oh my goodness. But his aesthetic, it's not my typical aesthetic. It's very masculine. It's very,
different style.
It's a very different style than what I'm used to. So it was a little intimidating. And I'm like, all right, Lord, this is all you. I can't do this by myself. And so I just said, okay, whatever happens, it's all you. And so we did a design day, which are intense. I get all of the information ahead of time, and we work in an 8-hour block to go from beginning to end on branding. Wow. And so the client has to be super decisive. I have to be on point. And revisions have to be done very, very quickly in order for them to have that at the end of the day so they can hit the ground running. Typically, this is like, I needed this a month ago. Can we do it today kind of situation? So I prayed so much before starting. I'm like, all right, Lord, I trust you. You've got this. You know what he needs. You know what his audience needs. So just work through me. And I trust that it's going to be right. And so I finished it up quicker than expected, which was, surprising to begin with. Yeah. And I sent it to Adam, and he called me, and he said, you took my heart and you put it on paper. He's, it's perfect. There are no edits. And I was sobbing. And I mean, every conversation I have with Adam, I'm crying anyway. He's amazing.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Like,
you got me in tears. Oh, that is.
He said, it's absolutely perfect. Don't change a thing.
I know he loves it because
it's everywhere.
Yeah.
I love that. It's on his book cover too, which I love.
I know. I love that.
But I told him, I said, okay, just so you know, this was not me. This was all God. This was 100% God. This is not my style. This is not my aesthetic, but it's what you needed.
Wow.
And so from that was kind of, that was definitely a catalyst of like, okay, I'm not on my own. I don't have to depend on myself to do all of this creation. I've got the creator that can help me out with this.
Yep. So and that just gives you more confidence to be able to do his work.
Absolutely. So he's my business partner.
He's mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that story so much. And yeah, if you want to find Adam Davis has a book called Unconquered, right? That's one of his books. He's got a few books. And you can look him up and find his book. It's an excellent book. He is fantastic. A first responder police officer. All right, Malena. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. You are very inspiring to me, and I hope that this is inspiring to others as well. You can reach Malena at what is your website?
It's southworthdesign.co. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, it is a pleasure to have you.
So appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much. And we will see you next time. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can reach us at yourcalltopurpose.com. Thank you.